The automatic application of the beauty filter is not a coincidence. Samsung has applied this filter in the front cameras of their mobile phones since 2012. This filter is applied automatically in order to correct and clean imperfections of the skin, in addition to applying an enlargement to the size of the eyes, which is a marketing strategy that convinces people that they can look better than they actually look. By doing this, Samsung tags society as imperfect, automatically using a wide range of touch-ups and filters in the camera of our mobile phones. The easy access to photography through the smartphone camera has encouraged an increasing harassment issue. The photography with these purposes and without permission emerges as a need in South Korean society as a result of the censorship of pornography in the country since 2008 for indecent internet sites, which are automatically readdressed with a warning. This site is legally blocked by government regulations. In this context, a technology is integrated into telephones as an anti-harassment measure, which disables the silent mode in our cameras, being able to alert possible victims of being photographed or recorded without permission. Applications and filters have turned up about the camera and the beauty perception, such as Snapchat, Snow, B612, and so on, allow us to design a new virtual identity to present ourselves to the rest of the society, trying to adjust to an unrealistic and sometimes unattainable beauty standard. In this way, they lose touch with reality and expect to be perfectly groomed and filtered in real life. This is known as body dysmorphic disorder. The first encounters among its users come up whether for making friends or dating, through social dating apps such as Tinder, Grindr, I Am, or Amanda, among others, and they happen after having presented the user's filter appearance and go on with the subsequent use of cosmetics, creating an ephemeral filter in physical reality. This ephemeral filter is displayed by the users in cafes, restaurants, and shopping centers, where the date is arranged. The virtual identity continues strongly being present during the couple relationship. Between app is introduced to the couples as an application designed only for a couple of two. This app has several functions, such as sharing memory albums, appointment planners, calendars for anniversaries, and reminders of events together, all in a permanent control by the technology. The additive use of these social networks and beauty applications is influenced by the pressure of the family environment to find a steady partner with whom to marry a heterosexual marriage. This is encouraged by the still strong presence of Neo-Confucianism in Korean society, which generates many conflicts. For instance, when people without a partner, especially a single woman, apply for a mortgage. Given these complicated conditions of emancipation, a series of architectures come up in the Korean urban design to try to compensate temporarily the lack of privacy and autonomy of couples or groups of friends. They are named DVD banks, love motels, Jimjil banks or spas, or Norae banks, Korean karaokes, and they are influenced by Japanese colonization too, whose prices allow affordable rentals for hours while redefining the way in which the city is inhabited and lived. Personal transformation technologies reach a new level with the use of surgery. South Korea is the country with the highest ratio of operations per capita in the world, ahead of the major cosmetic surgery powers such as Brazil or the US. It is even more striking if one considers how this point has been reached, taking in mind that South Korea is a country that has had Confucian roots for almost 2,000 years, which agreed on the relationship between the human being and the body, which belonged to his parents. So, damaging it was a lack of respect and an offense for which some of them preferred to commit suicide. This extreme respect for the body led Korean people to not even have their hair cut and take care of their body in every way, without tattoos and with a daily routine of cleanliness and care that has transcended to this day, from the Japanese colonial period and the subsequent influence by the American occupation, the country was rebuilt with a renewed version towards the body. The Korean wave or Hallyu invented characters like the K-pop idols that would lead to a change in the paradigm of beauty in South Korea. Ulsan, flower boys, or ramen girls built a new consumerism and materialist society. These looks and aesthetic fashions are presented in advertisements throughout the city, in makeup tutorials on YouTube, in video blogs about the experience in plastic surgery clinics in Seoul, used in turn as a marketing strategy by the clinics themselves, whose goal has multiplied their reach at international level, in addition to the national scope from the South Korean television programs. In these sort of virtual spaces where people discuss, criticize, and give relevant information on procedures or modifications to which they have submitted their bodies in South Korea, down forums, Instagram, YouTube, Kakao Talk, etc. Surgery is the way to fulfill their personal desires, from the feminization of the voice in gender changes, a better pronunciation in English, or more beautiful features that make them look different from the rest, to be able to struggle in a highly competitive labor world. In Seoul, this new positioning towards the body have redefined and influenced the development of the city, affecting entire neighborhoods as Gangnam, a district that in 2012 became known worldwide for the famous song of the Korean artist PSY, Gangnam Style, which accumulates 3,200 million visits. This song is a faithful portrait of the urban youth of this district of 1.7 million inhabitants of the southeast of Seoul. The video and the hedonistic lyrics of this song show those sophisticated appearances that provoke great pressures in society, influenced by the K-pop idols, television programs like Let Me In, where they spread the surgical practices of some professionals presenting themselves as the best in the country. The normalization of these practices through the media and the change in the canons of beauty is possible thanks to the increase in the purchasing power of the South Korean inhabitants, whose value in 1960 did not exceed $100 per year, becoming part of the current G20. This situation contrasts with one of North Korea, under the socialist regime of Kim Jong-un. The recent international sanctions imposed on North Korea with the support of China, its main partner in imports and exports, have caused the northern government to be more open to negotiate and offer concessions to the international community and its southern neighbor. In this scenario arises the idea of a future reunification. For this idea, a multitude of military architectures dispersed throughout the territory would be disused. For example, the DMZ in the 38th parallel, a strip of 4 kilometers wide by 250 long, barely intervened by man in more than 60 years. This architecture serves as a security zone between two Koreas whose war has not yet ended, and it is the architecture that has had the most impact in the peninsula since its separation.